Everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So there's actually been a new update to the whole thing here with regarding, I guess, this Rick Grimes new series, or it's not necessarily a Rick Grimes new series, but there could be a connection to Rick Grimes, but it seems like we actually have confirmation now, or at least somewhat confirmation that this actually might be for a new series entirely. And so, yeah, let's get into the latest update here. I'm just going to let you guys know that there's probably going to be a lot of updates, a lot of discussions and whatnot on like what is going on over the next day or two for sure, because tomorrow they're actually going to be filming this during the day, and so we'll just have to wait and see where that goes overall. But yeah, let's actually get into the news here. So before any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. My Q&A video is going to be pushed off until tomorrow just because of the latest update here, so there's still time, I guess, if you want to take part in the Q&A. I will be recording that tomorrow, so just go join the Discord. The server name is Appetite for the Dead. There's a Q&A channel there, and yeah, just post your questions in there and I'll get to that tomorrow. But let's actually get into the latest update here. So this also comes from at TWDU Filming, I guess basically the account that sort of, you know, talks about a lot of filming and whatnot for The Walking Dead. And obviously when it comes to spoilers and a lot of that, like, I don't really follow this stuff, you know, like I follow the news when it comes to like announcements like this, like, oh, are we going to get an announcement of like a new series, or is this like a new project or something like that? Like, that stuff to me is kind of interesting, but like, I don't really care if like certain characters are in certain scenes, even though it is interesting. I don't want to get spoiled of it, so like I won't talk about those things. But when it comes to this is very, very different, right? Like they're actually filming something that seems to be entirely separate from Dead City, because originally we got this post here from at Andy Lincoln News, and it really seemed like, you know, they were teasing something for the future, that Andrew Lincoln was going to be involved in another spin-off. And so, I mean, I've went everywhere with that. I was like, well, it makes sense for it to be Dead City. Then eventually I was like, well, no, it's probably going to be another spinoff. And then I saw something about them filming something for Dead City yesterday. And then I did a video earlier today, you know, talking about that. Like, well, it's probably going to be attached to Dead City. Maybe Rick's going to be in Dead City for season 3, which I guess doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, it does make sense if he's there, but like if the show's going on for 4 or 5 seasons, what doesn't make a lot of sense is to have the character like show up for a little bit and then leave, because having all those characters together is going to be like the highlight of the show. And so, yeah, season 3 of Dead City would be amazing, but like in season 4, when Rick's not there, it's not going to be the most amazing, right? So like that's always going to be an issue. So that's why it just seemed a little weird. Like that part to me just didn't make a lot of sense. But the latest update here comes from at TWU Filming, and it says, it's possible the filming happening tomorrow is not Dead City. Stalwart Productions LLC is in production of a new series titled Stalwart, which will be coming to your neighborhood for a 1-day shoot. Stalwart produces all Walking Dead shows, and yeah, you know, I think that this really is hinting that it's going to be a new series, but because they're filming in New York City, I guess this is sort of where the confusion is happening, right? Because they're going back to filming some stuff in New York City, and everyone's going to think right away, well, obviously that's related to Dead City, like it has to be. But based off of, you know, some of the information that I guess a lot of the businesses and a lot of people around, because obviously like they have to block off a certain amount of the road or the area that they're filming in, right? So like people can't like go by this area, this and that, so they sort of have to let, you know, everybody know in the area that like we're doing this and that. And that's how a lot of people find out about this stuff, right? Is because of all of that. And there's sort of nothing you can do about that, because I think that you do have to let people know that you are filming here. There's a bunch of stuff that you got to do. And so it's really interesting because, you know, I don't know anything about Stalwart Productions, because Stalwart producing all Walking Dead shows is very, very interesting. And it does say it's going to be a new series titled Stalwart. Now, obviously, that's just like a code name or something like that. Like, that's always been a thing just in general over the years. Like, even looking back at like The Ones Who Live and like, you know, The Walking Dead World Beyond, like they all have like different, I guess like working names, you know, when they're working on some stuff. And so what could this mean? If they're filming a new series here, it's not connected to Dead City, but I do think we'll find the reveal during Dead City. I'll talk about that in a second here. But in terms of what it could be, you know, originally I was just like, well, I wonder if this is related to like more Tales from the Walking Dead universe, because they did announce that show at some point after Tales of the Walking Dead, I think. Like, it's either a second season or it's like a new series that would focus on other characters. But the thing is like if they were starting to film that there, like it wouldn't be for just like 1 day, right? Like they're filming for 1 day. So to me, if they're filming for 1 day, it's going to be a very short scene that they're pretty confident, they're going to be able to actually film in just like one day. So it's not going to be for something for like a new series. Or I mean, obviously it could be a teaser or a post-credit scene for a new series, right? And so that's what I'm thinking this is related to. And so going back to what I was saying about Dead City Season 2 and the connection to it, I think because they have to film this in New York City specifically and it can't be like anywhere else, I think this kind of hints that there's going to be something in the story in Season 2 of Dead City, or I don't know what it's going to be. But I do think after this show is over, at the very end, like a post-credit scene, we're going to see something that teases a new spin-off, right? Because if you think of The Walking Dead World Beyond, that show was about the CRM. It was about, I guess, Rick, kind of, but there was newer characters, this and that. And at the very end of that show, we got this really amazing teaser for, I guess, technically what ended up being The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, right? We had no idea what it meant at the time. We were all wondering, but eventually we learned that that was a teaser for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, even though there is some just like, there's still some stuff off with it. Like there's some stuff they still have to explain from that scene, but overall, like that was the connection, right? So whatever this is here, it seems like it's connected in some way to Dead City, but it's probably going to be teasing something for the future because of the fact that, a lot of, I guess, the press release from this year, the fact that they're actually announcing this, it says it's a new series here. So I'm just curious as to what that could mean if it is a new series. And I think that the new series could be announced after Dead City. And does that mean it's coming out? I think at this point it's probably going to come out in early 2026. That's my prediction anyways. I don't think it'll be coming out earlier than that because Daryl Dixon's airing later on this year. And then we have this show here, and then Dead City Season 3 at some point, I imagine, is going to be filming, later on this year or whatever. So it is just really interesting, especially when you consider the fact that at Andy Lincoln News, again, the other day posted that thing that said Rick Grimes could appear in another spinoff from the Walking Dead universe. And so, the tweet, or I guess post, doesn't clarify what spinoff. And so now that we know that there is likely a new series out there, and I think they're filming like a post-credit scene or some sort of like new series announcement, or like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something like that. And because it's in New York City, it seems like it'll be connected to an announcement, for Dead City Season 2's finale. I'm wondering if this is going to be a new series for Rick Grimes, and that's sort of how they're announcing it. Because like, the way they've been talking about the next Rick story, it just seemed like it was going to happen sooner rather than later. And I don't know the premise of this new series. Like, it could be something entirely different. I mean, obviously, as of right now, we sort of know that there is going to be a new series, it seems like, and it seems to be Walking Dead related because, according to the tweet or post here anyways from at TWDU Filming, like that's the company that usually does a lot of the Walking Dead productions. And so it has to be related to that, right? To the Walking Dead just in general. So I'm just trying to think here, like, this seems like a new series that's probably going to be announced at some point in the next couple of months here. And just based off of this tweet here, it seems like Rick might be a part of it because it says Rick Grimes could appear in another spinoff from the Walking Dead universe. And so as of right now, that seems to be sort of where we're at. I don't know if we're going to find out more information. I mean, we're probably going to find out some more information tomorrow. I mean, depending on what it is, I'll do a video on it. Obviously, I don't want to get into anything that's crazy spoilery, but it is really, really interesting. And I think if you are a Rick Grimes fan, this is really exciting because of the possibilities here. Like, for him to actually return in a new series, I mean, it would line up, I guess, with what they were saying before in terms of doing like a more of a focus on like survival horror and whatnot in a new series. And there hasn't been a lot of talk of like a season 2 of The Ones Who Live. So I just really wonder if like that's it for that show, but the next show is going to be called something different. The Walking Dead, I don't know what. But it'll focus on like Rick and Michonne, and I don't know what the story is going to be, obviously, but it's not going to be about them reuniting. It's probably going to be, maybe more of a survival horror story, which would be really amazing. So we'll have to wait and see, but as of right now, this is really amazing to see, and I'm really excited for all the new updates here. Like, I'm imagining in the next, like, even couple of hours here, there's going to be a bigger update where we learn a lot more information, right? So as of right now, this is really exciting. It keeps taking a turn in like this direction, but it seems like it's really leaning towards the announcement of something new here. Like, it's really interesting. And the one thing that I will say, and it is very, like, it might just be in my head, but the official Walking Dead account actually posted something that was Rick Grimes related, and it was posted yesterday, I believe, or no, it was today actually. And I saw something too very similar. Maybe it was the same post, but it was on Instagram. But it's just interesting. I'll just say that. Like, it really feels like there's more of a focus on Rick right now, and there maybe could be an announcement of something coming up very soon. Because the one thing, I talked about it before, but Andrew Lincoln, he was filming that series Cold Water. it was only supposed to be 6 episodes. I know they started filming in the summer last year, so like they got to be done that at this point. Maybe they are done. I have no idea. Or maybe they still have a little bit more to do, but it kind of makes sense that, you know, after all of this, maybe we'll actually get something else here. We'll get like another Rick Grimes series, because Rick does want to do, or not Rick, but Andrew Lincoln does want to do more Rick Grimes story. You know, it's just that it has to be the right story. It's got to be a really well done story. And I wonder if Denai Guerrera and Scott Gimple really worked on something. And so we're about to maybe see the next part to it here. It all depends on like what this new series could be, right? Like, again, I don't think it's more Tales from the Walking Dead, because they wouldn't tease that. Unless it's something just entirely different that we're not expecting, right? Like maybe it's a Dwight spinoff, or like Alicia spinoff, or something like that. Maybe it's a post-credit scene that's, you know, that's the thing. It's not related to Dead City, because that post says it's a new series, and so it doesn't seem to be related to Dead City at all. But maybe some of the story elements are, because of where, you know, the scene is being filmed. I don't know, but you just go based off of what the Andrew Lincoln account, you know, at Andy Lincoln News posted on X, and it just seems really interesting, and I'm very intrigued right now. And so I'm gonna be following this over the next like day or two, because it's going to be really exciting if, like, you know, there's more confirmation. And like, again, the crazy thing about it is The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live is going to be on Netflix, I believe, next week. I feel like there might be some sort of announcement happening very soon. I don't know. Tomorrow's Friday. Maybe we'll get some big news or something like that tomorrow, right? Like they'll actually announce something tomorrow. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.